Yesterday with the videos that I recorded yesterday last week?
No, I know.
So that tells me you did not check your email, which you need to, because I sent out an email yesterday for all geometry students with the videos that I uploaded to YouTube for what we did in class. You don't have to use it, but you need to be aware of it. I also included the newsletter that I sent to your parents. So be aware of those things. Look for your emails. Your primary way to communicate with me needs to be via email. It's just a very professional way to communicate with people. And so I want to get you prepared for that if you plan on getting a career after high school or if you plan on going to college after high school. It is your choice, okay? So we need to know how to use emails. And if you have questions for me when you're working on homework or something like that, email me. I'll be more than happy to respond. So let's go over those first two problems. And then we'll get started for the day. So, class, collect,
I can't see it.
delete, and finish. And we'll open. You say, all right, so let's look at this first one. A little bit of variability in this answer. So the question is the question is how many cards are there in a standard deck of playing cards? Okay? Overwhelmingly, it looks like we're thinking it's numerical data. Would someone care to explain, hey Dee Dee? I need you to focus. Thank you. Would anyone who said numerical data care to explain why that they said numerical? Yes, Rose. Okay, so when it all comes together, you'll get a number at the end. Do we kind of agree with that statement? Yes, a lot of us. Now, one thing I want to be careful about language-wise, right? To really develop our language on this side of things, what we want to remember is, are the responses that we get from people or from subjects falling into numerical data or categorical data, right? So when you collect all the data, or collect all the information, the response will be numerical, right? Just that one little word to tweak there, but that's good. Hopefully, those of us that thought categorical, we learned from that. We start to believe it is, in fact, numerical. But we're kind of split when it comes to statistical versus non-statistical. Hold on. Y'all can talk just here in your groups. Don't get loud.
Why you being so anti? I know you give me. Why you being so anti?
Why'd you put a video there?
You ain't talking to me all day. I seen you then move. When you walk past my bro. Oh, right. You tall that nigga, tall that light skinned nigga, and a black ass nigga beside him. You ain't gonna see him. I'll turn it off. Why you being anti-fair? I know you think now you're normal. I'm gonna come up there at 2.5. You said what? What'd you say? I ain't know you stay there. I'm bored.
Please don't.
Oh, this is what?
Give me a paper. Give me his backpack.
Hey,
Ooh, you got my pen.
Where is that? Don't touch me.
That's not work.
I ain't want to be like that. You gay? You want acting like that yesterday?
It's all
I wasn't doing nothing yesterday. You want acting like that yesterday?
No, you are 10 minutes late in my class. Get your butt in here.
10 minutes, you know he would count.
Are there any, y'all, this is why we don't have drinks in my class.
I have an explanation.
There's no explanation.
Yes,
Bro.
it is.
No,
Dude,
we don't have drinks in my class. Put them away if we have drinks out. Same with food.
You was serious.
You can drink water as long as there's a lid on it. Are there any, okay, so you already have a calculator for Cam.
now I
Alright,
can't even get on your nerves.
so we need to have a discussion about statistical versus non-statistical. Josh, can you explain what the difference between statistical and non-statistical questions? What that difference is? So you know about numerical versus categorical, but hey, Rose, everybody, I need y'all to stop. I need you to pay attention. Okay. How long have we been talking about statistical versus non-statistical? Since the first day of school. Thank you. This is day 8. If
Day 8. I
Yes.
ain't been here no 8 days. I swear I have.
yeah, you haven't, but it is day 8 of school. Because we had 2 days on the first week. We had all last week. That's not my fault. We have had this day 8 of school. Stop arguing with it and listen. Should you know what statistical versus non-statistical is by this point? Yes. If you don't know, you should probably get out a sheet of paper and make some notes and say, hey, this is about the type of question. Y'all, Caleb, you're late to my class. You better put that shoe on and get ready for class. Y'all, we have gone over this same exact style question every single day for 7 days, and today's day 8. If you don't know statistical versus non-statistical yet, you need to take some notes. Okay? Gabe, what do we mean by statistical versus non-statistical? Waiting on you, Gabe.
Yeah, okay.
So then you need to get a sheet of paper out just like Josh did and take some notes. This is it, guys, this is ridiculous. We should have some idea of the difference. In fact, we shouldn't have to take notes because that very first activity, the getting to know you thing, didn't we define statistical versus non-statistical? Get your shoe on and get ready for class. Stop joking. Stop playing around. Stop talking to people behind you. Get ready for class. You were 10 minutes late for my class, sir. And then you're going to disrespect me by sitting there joking around with whoever you are behind you. My guess is Terrence. I'm not asking for back talk. I'm asking you to get ready for class. I'm not getting on to you. I'm getting on to him. But still, if you're the one he's talking to, quit it.
Terrence get into it.
Y'all, did we take notes on the getting to know you task? Kelsey says yes. All right. Brooke says yes. Because we did. You should probably look over your notes once in a while. If you're not sure, get out a sheet of paper to define these things. Jalen, what is the difference between statistical and non-statistical?
Statistical, the options, and non-statistical is like a specific answer.
Okay, so statistical, there are options, and non-statistical, there is a specific answer. Okay, does anyone have any other language we could add to that to make it more accurate? Statistical versus non-statistical is all about variability in the what?
Answer?
In the
Response.
answers, there's an R word I always used.
Response.
Responses, right? So, if we have variability in the responses, versus no variability in responses, which, for those of us who don't know this answer, if you were unsure and you just put an answer, you should be writing this down so that you have this note for the future, okay? Kelsey, which one has variability in the responses? A statistical question or a non-statistical question? Statistical question. Thumbs up if you agree with Kelsey, please. Got about half the class saying thumbs up. London agrees. Anton, you agree? Okay. Kelsey is correct that a statistical question has variability in the response. Which means, Jeremy, when there's no variability in the response, what are we looking at? A non-statistical question. If you did not know those two details, you should be writing that down.
I know it.
What's interesting is I feel like I see people writing this down who I know already know this information. For those of us who are not writing this down and did not know this, this is why you don't know it. Not because you can't do math, not because this math is hard, it's because we're not putting in the effort to be good students. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. You get out of a class what you put into a class. Especially if it's a class I'm teaching. I'm here to help you be successful. But if you're not willing to put in work, I can't help you out. There's nothing I can do to help you.
True.
Based on those definitions, okay? Claire, do you think that there might be variability in how many cards there are in a standard deck of playing cards? Yes? How many, what are the possible
18.
responses, do you think? 18?
52.
52?
Yeah.
Okay.
54, I'm tripping.
So 52 cards,
54.
54 cards.
Yeah. I'm a gambler, of course I am.
Please stop talking. Especially with the camera recording.
The camera's recording the whole time.
Oh,
It recorded.
got him.
It recorded?
Yes.
Dude.
Anyways, so this is an important point I gotta ask. Okay? If I were to ask each of you how many cards do you think are in a standard deck of playing cards, would I get a different response every time probably? Because we probably don't know much about a deck of cards, yeah? Okay? Does anyone know how many suits there are in a standard deck of playing cards?
What's a suit?
Oh.
This explains a lot.
Spade.
We've got
glove,
spades.
Diamonds.
We got diamonds. Hearts.
Jokers.
And no. So jokers come in a deck of playing cards, but that is not a standard deck of playing cards. What's the other one I'm missing?
Aces?
Club.
Clubs.
Aces ain't no suit.
For each of those four suits, okay,
Yeah,
we have
there's
numbers
16
2
spades.
through 10. How many cards is 2 through 10?
Four.
How many cards are is there for 2 through 10?
9.
9, thank you. There are 9 cards if we're looking at 2 through 10. Then we have what other cards?
Ace.
Ace,
King.
Kings,
Queens. Jack.
Jacks. So how many cards are there in each?
13.
13.
And then 16 spades.
So there are 13 in each suit for a total of 3, 6, 9, 12. And that's a 5. 52 cards in a standard deck of playing cards. Okay? So let me ask you this question. Each of you might have a different response because you're not sure. But if you knew the answer, how many cards are in each deck of playing cards? 52. Will that change, Amari?
What was the mark? Oh.
Huh? You don't know? I mean, we just went over it. There are spades, diamonds, hearts, and clubs. In each suit, there are 13 cards, which means that there's a total of 52 cards. Will that ever change, that there's something other than 52? How?
Yeah.
But in a standard deck of playing cards, if you're going to play cards, it's not arguing.
Yeah.
Because you always want to argue instead of learn. Yes, you will.
Hey.
There are 13 in each suit. That does not change. So there are how many cards total? 52.
But you still, never mind.
What?
You gotta take out the 2 of hearts and the 2 of clubs.
What? Why?
You don't know how to play spades.
Why you gotta take them out?
Who said we're playing spades?
Why you wanna take them out?
Oh.
The question
That's what you're
is,
supposed to do.
how many cards are there in a standard deck of playing cards? Regardless, in spades, you don't take any of the cards out.
Yes, you do. The two of hearts. Yeah, the two of hearts and the two of clubs. The two of diamond and the two of spades supposed to stay.
You need to go check the rules for spades again because I have played a lot of spades in my life, and you need all 13 because you split those 52 cards in 4 people, so you need 13 cards per person. And the two of clubs is what tells, or the person who has the two of clubs starts everything off. So the two of clubs needs to be in there.
I don't know what
that
type
whole
of
thing
spades
being.
you play.
You must know game bangles or something.
I do play poker, but y'all focus.
You play Texas Hold'em?
Huh?
Texas Hold'em.
I have played Texas Hold'em, yes. Look, 52 cards. That's how many cards are there in a deck of cards if you buy a new deck of cards. If you go buy a standard deck of cards, every deck of cards is going to have how many cards?
Wait, this was
52.
game or like just
54
No, a
including the joke.
standard deck of playing cards.
so it's just
There's
standard
52.
50,
Huh?
53, because it come with a, never mind.
Let's word it this way, and I'm done with the audio, I'm done with y'all joking around. If you go play Texas Hold'em at a casino, the number of cards in that deck is 52. Done. Alright, so, is there variability in that answer? No. There are 52 cards, y'all. So is it statistical or non-statistical? Sweet Moses.
You said what?
Terrence, stop talking across my room.
Huh? Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
That'll give me in trouble.
I understand not fully knowing the standard deck of playing cards. However, we gotta make sure we're paying attention and trying to learn. Now we have something a little bit different. A lot of agreement on this one. What is the favorite subject of students at Hillcrest High School? We pretty much all said it was categorical. Now, will you get numbers when you figure out what everyone's favorite subject is? I mean, you'll count how many people like that subject, right?
Yeah.
So why is it categorical and not numerical?
Because categorical.
It's a different subject.
There are different subjects. There's something that you're missing with that detail. Kelsey, what's your favorite subject? Don't say math. I know it's not math. What's your favorite subject?
I ain't gonna lie, I hate math with friends.
Science, okay? Brandon, what's your favorite subject?
Why? That man said.
Brandon,
I
what'd you say?
said it.
Oh.
What's your favorite subject? Science as well? Felicia, what's your favorite subject?
No.
English, okay? Notice their responses. See how that word comes up? First off, their responses are what? Different. So it is going to be statistical. And was their response numerical or categorical? Categorical. Remember, it's the response. It's not whether there are numbers involved. It's the response. Is the response numerical or categorical? Woo! Y'all giving me a headache, just raising my blood pressure. It's like I haven't taught you. Okay. Alright. Just to have a show? Look like, come on.
Hey, can y'all be quiet so this man can talk and teach class?
Kayla's not funny. Step outside, come back in the right way. I get it that some of us are freshmen, but y'all need to start acting like you're freshmen and not like you're in 6th and 7th grade. Step it up. You're in high school. Act like you're in high school. And I need y'all to remember, there's a reason why we did the 1 to 100 task. Remember how we discussed at the end the things that we should expect out of ourselves and out of each other? Because I remember that. In fact, I have access to it right here. Let's see the things that we said. Yeah, I'm going to pull out those receipts. Here we go. This is our classes.
I can't see that.
I can't see a thing.
Put the
Hey,
place.
you gonna turn it
I'm
off?
about to.
I don't remember saying that.
I didn't ask you if you remember.
I need it.
Come back in the right way so you can
Look,
I ate myself.
Yeah.
I don't want you
You
to.
know, so I knew I was my dad.
I don't want you.
weird, so.
So, the values and beliefs that we all agreed upon to help each other be successful is that we need to work within a group. That everyone deserves an opportunity to learn. That we need to collaborate, help each other out and share ideas. That we need to agree upon hard work, or that we need to work hard and respect each other and be patient and build on each other's ideas. Where are the students who agreed upon that? Because this whole talking across groups when I'm transitioning for all of 30 seconds is ridiculous. That's not working hard. That's not respecting each other or respecting me. That's not being patient. I get that it's the end of the day, but also, y'all need to grow up a little bit. You're in high school. When I take 20 seconds or 10 seconds to transition from one thing to another, that is not the time to start talking, joking, playing around. It's the time to get ready. When I go over these bell ringer questions, it's a time to help make sure that you understand what's going on. We agreed that the things we need to do are to stay focused and put in effort. Right? We agreed that we need to be proactive and have a positive mindset. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you come in here saying, dang, this is going to be boring, then you're right, it's going to be. Not because it actually is, but because you chose it. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I know that some of y'all are coming into this math class believing that you can't do math. And I've already told you that that is wrong. But if you come in with that mentality and you don't put in the effort, you will continue to suck at math. Not because you can't do it, but because you didn't put in the effort. If you have someone in your group who you can tell is struggling to believe in themselves, then you need to be positive and encourage them. You need to work to try to get them involved, because your group of 4 right now, that is your mathematical family within this classroom. You are here to support one another in being successful. And I have set up the groups in a way that I think every group can be successful. But what you can't be doing is you can't be sleeping. You can't be talking across groups. I have set your group up to be successful, meaning that you work actively in that group. These are the values and beliefs that you agreed upon. These are the actions that you agreed you need to take. This is the way you agreed that you need to communicate with each other. It's time to learn math. Let's do it the right way. Edie, is that the right way? Was that not you going,
I was trying to turn my head.
So, we are about to start a new lesson, because I believe we wrapped up the applications of equations on Friday. Does that sound correct?
I don't know.
Yes?
I will hear.
Okay. Brooke, can you make sure everyone gets one of these? While Brooke is passing that out, let's have a quick recap, because this is critical information. What do we mean by solution? Expression? Alana, did you have your hand up?
No.
No?
Yeah,
Dee Dee?
Something that makes the expression or equation equal or the truth.
You're close. If we go back to an equation that we wrote on Friday, for the flowers, we said 12x plus 10 is equal to 46. Okay, focus. And we said that x equals 3 is the solution to that equation. What does that mean? Okay, so we did 12 times 3 plus 10 equals 46. So 36 plus 10 is equal to 46. So 46 is equal to 46. So that value did what to the equation?
Make it true.
It made that equation true. Now I need to be careful, and I need y'all to pay attention to this. Is there any way to make an expression true? Yeah? I mean, if I substitute the 3 in here, I get 3 times 3 plus 4, which is 9 plus 4, which is 13. Does that make anything true?
No.
Can you make an expression true? What's it got to equal? Is there an equal sign?
No.
So is that a mathematical statement? No. Y'all, listen very clearly on this. It needs to be a mathematical statement that you are making true. Thank you. What does it need to be in order to be a mathematical statement? It needs to either be an equation or what else? There's one other thing besides an equation. It starts with an I.
Inequality.
Thank you. It's an inequality. Both equations and inequalities are mathematical statements. 2x plus 4 is greater than 6. So 2 times 2. If I let x equal 2, that's 4 plus 4. Is that greater than 6? Yes? So is 2 a solution? Yes. A solution, remember, is a value or values that make a mathematical statement true. That has not changed. If you did not already, you should have that on the applications of equations that we did on Friday. If you don't have it there, you might want to rewrite that. There's one other fundamental idea that we discussed, multiplication. What do we mean by multiplication? Or when we see multiplication in math? Huh?
Repeated addition.
When you use multiplication in math, especially to write an equation, that means there is some form of repeated addition. Okay? There is some form of repeated addition. So make sure you have those things noted. And let's get started on lesson 6 that Brooke passed out for us. Alright, Austin, can you read our first objective for us today, please?
And so whether two expressions are equivalent and explain why or why not.
Yeah, sorry that T got cut off. But I can tell whether two expressions are equivalent and explain why or why not. Jalen, can you read our second objective for us today, please?
Yeah, bro. Understand what I can't read. Understand what it means for two questions to be equivalent.
Second.
Know and can identify the movies that could be made to transform an equal equation to equivalent one.
An equation into an equivalent one, right? You want to read the last one, Josh? Oh, you want to read it? I need Anton to read it because he's not paying attention. Anton, can you read our last objective for us?
I got to understand what it means for two equations to be equivalent and how equivalent equations can be used to describe the same situation.
So, does anyone know what the most important word for today's lesson is?
Equivalent.
Equivalent. You got to know the idea of equivalency. See, that's what most people think, and it's not quite. And that's why we're doing this lesson. When I learned and understood what the word equivalent actually means, it transformed my understanding of solving equations. If you have struggled at all with solving equations in the past, or if you've just done it but not fully understand why you're doing what you're doing, this lesson is foundational to everything we're going to do. So we're going to start with this number 1 here, two expressions, right? What I want us to do is to complete this warm-up. And what's going to happen is I'm going to assign you one of these expressions. All right? So, let's say if you're an odd group, then you have this first expression. If you are an even group, then you have this second expression. Do you know what I mean by even versus odd?
Yeah.
Okay, so group 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, right? So what we're saying is in number 1, we are saying, so number 1, we're saying n is equal to 5. In number 2, we are saying n is equal to 7. We all good with that? Okay. Now, to give us an example, to make sure we're all comfortable, if I were to say n equals 3, what would I do with this first expression knowing that n is equal to 3? Matthew.
You do 3
Cool, man.
squared
Oh.
minus 9. Right, and then divide that to parentheses 4 and 3.
Notice I kept the whole thing there. Does anyone know the word to explain what Matthew did in that first step? Say it, Rose. Substitute, right? He substituted that 3n for n because n is equal to 3. So, what you are going to do is in your groups, so the odd groups, you're using the first expression, the even groups, you're using the second expression. You are letting n equal 5 for number 1, n equals 7 for number 2, n equals 13 for number 3, and n equals -1 for number 4. Kelsey, you look like you have a question. You sure you're good?
What'd you say? I don't know.
Does someone in the group know so they can explain it?
I think you said
Alright,
5 and
I'll be
4.
coming around checking on you, but we need to be actively working. We ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Like, substitute.
You need light off.
No, put it away.
I think.
No.
Not real sure.
I'll handle it in a second. You two work together.